Hello everyone, welcome back to Scented Moments channel. I'm Jolima and today I will talk about, I don't know if I will do a top 10 or not, or I will say if it's a top 10 or not, but definitely I will talk about my 10 fragrances that were love at first sniff. So basically these are fragrances that blew my mind right upon initial spray and to this day. So of course, like usual, I will talk about my 5 designers and 5 niche fragrances, but actually I wanted to include more fragrances in this list, but I was afraid that this video would be too long. So if you enjoy this type of content, I will do a part 2. So without further ado, let's start. So in the designer side of things, I will talk about my favorite designer fragrance ever, Dior Homme Parfum. If you are following this channel for a while, you all know how much I love this one. I already did a review of Dior Homme Parfum a couple of years ago. I'll leave the link here or here if so you can check that video out. This fragrance, it's outstanding. It's iris, it's very leathery. It's, of course, it has that makeup-y accord in it, which is quite prominent in Dior Homme line, but well, or it was at least. I don't know what Dior is doing with this line, but definitely it's destroying it. They know better. But this one still, it's my favorite. Dior Homme Parfum, it's outstanding. Iris leather, has a touch of rose, it's woody. This is dark, it's very heavy, it's opulent. I love this one, Dior Homme Parfum. Now the next fragrance is from the house of Gucci. Gucci Intense Oud. This was my very first oud scent, and quite honestly this is my favorite mainstream / designer oud fragrance. Of course you have Versace Oud Noir, you have also Boss Bottled Oud, which I have also. It's quite good. It's probably my favorite Boss Bottled fragrance. You have also Supreme Oud by Ralph Lauren, and you have more. I mean, you have more designer oud fragrances, but this one is definitely my favorite. This one, it's kind of, this is kind of similar with Black Afghano by Rosendo Mateu, but quite frankly, this is more sophisticated and more versatile in my opinion. This is balsamic, it's very woodsy, and it has a aromatic nuance in it, which makes it more versatile and more appealing, quite honestly. I love this one, Gucci Intense Oud. It's outstanding, one of my favorite from Gucci, and actually I could include another one, but well, I think I will leave that to part 2. Gucci Intense Oud, fantastic, and the performance, it's insane. Fantastic fragrance right here. Now the next fragrance is from the house of Zadig and Voltaire. This is him. What a discovery, a late discovery of last year. Man, this is good. I mean, it's even crazy, it's silly of how good this is. This blew my mind because I was not expecting anything special, quite honestly. And in the end, I get a dark, vanillic, sandalwood, spicy, with a lot of incense. I mean, insane, fantastic fragrance right here. It's quite masculine, and although it can be unisex in my opinion because of its sweetness, but nonetheless it's outstanding, perfect for date night scenarios. It has this bad boy feel into it. It's spicy, it's balsamic, it's incensey. It's fantastic, wonderful. This blew my mind in December. I mean, wonderful, wonderful scent from Zadig and Voltaire. I already did a review of this one. It was my last review of last year. So I'll leave the link here so you can check that video out. Zadig and Voltaire, this is him. Blew my mind upon initial spray, and still, it's wonderful. Now, the other fragrance that I'll mention is from the house of Tom Ford, from the Private Blend collection, Tobacco Vanille. This one right here. If you're following this channel for a while, you all know how much I love this one. Brings back memories, fantastic memories. And also, this was a fragrance that made me discover niche fragrances. Yes, this is not niche perfume. This is a high-end designer fragrance, but yet this was a fragrance that woke up my curiosity to discover niche perfumery. Tobacco Vanille, it's fantastic. I love it. I mean, when you think of Tobacco Vanille, you immediately think of holiday seasons because, of course, it has tobacco, this has vanilla, this has spices, it's very spicy, it's creamy, slightly woody, it's wonderful. Unisex, my girlfriend loves this one, it's one of her all-time favorite fragrances, Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. It's outstanding. To this day, still one of my favorite tobacco fragrances, and of course one of my favorite vanilla fragrances. Simply outstanding, doesn't need any introduction. Right here, blew my mind upon initial spray and still does. Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. And last but certainly not least, in the designer side of things, the last fragrance that I'll mention is by the Fireplace by Maison Margiela. Of course, I already did a review very recently about this fragrance, and it's wonderful. Although it took me some time to purchase this one, but it was love at first sniff when I first tried this fragrance. Fantastic. This is so unique. It has this roasted chestnut accord in it. The image that transmits, it's really that you're sitting by the fireplace, like, of course, the name of the fragrance suggests. It's wonderful, so realistic, so well done. One of my favorite cozy fragrances, or if not right now, my favorite cozy fragrance at the moment, by the Fireplace by Maison Margiela from the replica line. Wonderful scent, I love it. And this fragrance finishes my designer list. Now, let's dive into the niche list. So the first fragrance that I'll mention is Dolce Passione. I did a first impressions video way back in the day, like it was one of my first videos actually. This one, it's still to this date my favorite gourmand fragrance. I love my gourmand fragrances. I have a sweet tooth. I love my gourmand fragrances, and actually I have a top 10 favorite gourmand fragrances. I'll leave the link here so you can check that video out. And this one, it's still to this day my favorite gourmand fragrance. My favorite chocolate based scent. This is chocolatey, it's very nutty. You have plum, you have strawberry, of course you have vanilla. It's very creamy. It's the chocolate here, it's so realistic, it's so edible, and it's so fruity. I mean, it's outstanding. But definitely the main player of this fragrance, it's this nutty chocolate accord. Dolce Passione by Pantheon Roma. It's wonderful, very underrated actually. If you love gourmand fragrances, check this one out. I love it. It's my favorite gourmand to this day. Dolce Passione, it was love at first sniff. The next fragrance that I'll mention is from the house of Rosendo Mateu, 5. Man, this fragrance, it's outstanding. Hey, it's so damn sensual. When I purchased this one, it was, well, actually, purchased this one in Embassy. Well, quite frankly, I think almost 4 niche fragrances that I have here I purchased in Embassy Niche Perfumery shop here in Lisbon. It's a niche perfume shop in Lisbon. It's my favorite niche perfume shop. I will leave the link down below so you can check it out. I think Ricardo, he's the owner of the shop. I think he will ship internationally. But Rosendo Mateu, the minute I sprayed this on my skin, I bought it immediately, like without blinking. This is amber, it's floral, it's musky, and it's so sensual. This amber, it's so addictive. It's sweet, but not overly sweet. It's quite unique, quite honestly. The vanilla here, it has very prominent vanilla in here, but oh man, it's so good. I mean, you need to try for yourself. And I already did a review of Rosendo Mateu 5, so of course I will leave the link so you can check that video out. Rosendo Mateu 5, it's wonderful, and I will soon purchase 6 from the same brand. Now, the next fragrance that I'll mention is from the house of Xerjoff, Cruz del Sur 2. Man, My favorite fruity fragrance. Oh man. This is Milky Mango in a bottle. Pure and simple. So realistic, and I did a review of this one already. This was featured on my top 10 best fruity fragrances that I did last year. This fragrance is tropical, it's sweet but not overly sweet, it's unisex, it's borderline gourmand, quite honestly. It's simply outstanding. A milky mango accord, so well done. Of course, the price tag might be a bit too much. I mean, I think this is a bit overpriced for what it is, but well, quite honestly, in this case, I don't care because I love this one so much. Cruz del Sur 2 by Xerjoff. It was love at first sniff. Now the next fragrance that I'll mention is from the house of Profumum Roma, Fiore d'Ambra. Not Ambra Aurea. I could mention that fragrance, but lately I've been talking so much about that fragrance, Ambra Aurea, that well, I think it's time to talk about my first purchase from Profumum Roma. It was Fiore d'Ambra. And of course this is an amber scent, but it's so unique, it's so narcotic. It has also a zen type of feel because it has a orchid flower accord. It has even a tea impression and amber. It's so good, so well done, so unique. It's wonderful. You have really this tea impression, this narcotic, floral, narcotic feel with lots of amber, of course. Fiore d'Ambra from Profumum Roma, it's outstanding. And it was my first love from Profumum Roma. And I still love this one. Fiore d'Ambra, outstanding. And the next fragrance that I will mention is from the house of Amouage. I needed to include an Amouage here. Jubilation XXV. And you can see how much I've been wearing this one. This was love right in the opening. I mean, this fragrance, it's one of the most complex fragrances that I came across so far. Oh man, you have blackberry, it's very fruity in the opening. You have opoponax, you have frankincense, you have myrrh, you have oud, patchouli. I mean, you name it. This is so opulent, but the best word to describe Jubilation XXV, it's regal. This smells regal. It's outstanding. Performance-wise, no complaints whatsoever. Yes, this is the magnetic cap, but I don't have any type of issues with performance, and it smells wonderful. It's simply outstanding. Love this one, and it was love at first sniff because even back then it was probably the most complex fragrance that I came across back then. So Jubilation XXV by Amouage. Not for everyone, of course, but for me it was simply that click. Amouage Jubilation XXV finishes this list. Guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comments down below what fragrances were love at first sniff for you that blew your mind. Tell me everything in the comments down below, and I will do also a video of fragrances that grew on me. Because well, tastes in fragrances, our taste in fragrances is always changing. Guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. Ciao.